We all know that in the Philippines, generally, there is no divorce, unless, of course, a Filipina may have married a Muslim man under Sharia law. But for the vast majority of Filipinas, once they marry, the only way they can be free to remarry again is if they get an annulment, which of course can be rather expensive and take some years to finalise. In recent times, those laws have changed a little bit, with the Philippines now recognising foreign divorce in the Philippines. So simply put, if the Filipina was married to a man, say, in the US, and they got divorced in the US, then the Philippines will recognise that divorce in the Philippines, and that will allow the Filipina to be able to remarry. Now, I've been told by a couple of subscribers about this new change in the law, so I thought I'd check it out and find some information, and I came across Lawyers in the Philippines website. Now, they do seem like they know what they're on about here, and they do seem very professional and experienced in family law. So I thought I'd bring this information to your attention. So as you can see, this page on this website was last updated on September 15, 2020, so of this year. So you can see how recently this law had changed. And they say there is generally no divorce allowed in the Philippines, but a marriage between a Filipino and a foreigner is a special case. The Philippines will recognise the divorce of a Filipino obtained abroad by the foreign spouse. Their foreign divorce can be recognised here, whether it was obtained by the Filipino or by the foreigner, as long as at least one of them was a non-Filipino at the time of the divorce. So it goes a bit deeper into this, as we'll get into. That's just a general overview as to the changes, but it's not going to be for every single Filipina. Now, for example, if a Filipina has dual citizenship, it's not going to cover her. Now, I'm going to put a link to this page in the description box below so you can check it all out yourself. But as we scroll down, you'll see there's plenty of information. So it says here, do you need to have your divorce recognised? You were previously married, but your foreign spouse obtained a divorce. You now want official Philippine records to reflect that you're no longer married to your ex-spouse. Do you need to have the divorce recognised in the Philippines? It says yes, most likely. And a simple way to check is to make a request with the Philippine Statistics Office for an advisory on a marriage or a certificate of no marriage, which is commonly known as a CENAMAR. Then it goes on to tell you how the divorce will be recognised in the Philippines, and says it's not a simple matter of presenting a copy of your foreign divorce decree to a Philippine government office. Recognition is a judicial process where both foreign divorce and the foreign divorce law need to be proven in court. You'll need to file a petition for recognition of foreign divorce with the regional trial court in the Philippines. You'll need to get a lawyer to prepare and conduct the case. So it's not an overly straightforward thing to do. And it goes on to say, when you talk to the lawyer, you should disclose the whole picture to him, etc., etc. You can read all this for yourself by clicking on that link in the description. So it tells you there what documents you need to prepare. And they're talking about things like Philippine marriage certificate, official marriage certificate record from the foreign country, if the marriage was abroad, report of marriage of a Filipino who married abroad, official copies of your foreign divorce documents, certified copies of the foreign country's divorce laws, and proofs of citizenship. And it goes on to tell you what the court process for the recognition of foreign divorce is. So you can read all that yourself. I'm not going to go into that too much. As I say, I'm no expert here, so I only know what you guys know from this page. And as I say, it is a very professional looking website, and I do believe they are a highly regarded law firm in the Philippines. Can this be done while I'm abroad? So if a Filipina is abroad, it can still be done, yes. And it will tell you how you can go about doing that. And how long does it take? Now, we know things in the Philippines can move rather slowly. They say the trial can take about a year to a year and a half to finish from date of filing. So it's probably a lot quicker than what an annulment takes. And annulments are not always successful. So what are the costs involved? A case for recognition of foreign divorce entails different costs. So, who knows what that really means? It could be different solicitor to solicitor, or even depending on what part of the Philippines you may be filing it from. So we jump over to this page on the same website. 3 questions re recognition of foreign divorce that you really need to answer before you start. And they do recommend that you read this first. As I say, this is by attorney Francesco C. Britannico. So as we say, recognition of foreign divorce is through a Philippine court case that recognizes a divorce abroad as also valid here in the Philippines. So before you go through recognition, there are 3 questions you need to answer for yourself to see if it's the right path for you to take. Your lawyer will definitely help you, but these questions are so useful in determining if you should do it and if you can do it in the first place. So the questions are that you need to ask yourself is, why do you want to go through recognition of foreign divorce? And the second question they ask you to think about is, am I eligible for recognition of foreign divorce? And the third question is, can I fulfill the requirements of the case? So the case requires documents and information, so you need to have all that, as we spoke about earlier. The case also requires the presentation of a witness at court. Exceptions exist, but it's best to be aware and prepared to commit to getting the documents and to working with your lawyer. These 3 pivotal questions are crucial to deciding whether you need the case or not. And then they go on and give you the top 5 reasons from actual cases, which you can have a look at, from remarriage, immigration, register a new spouse as your legal spouse, remove married name on passport, property issues, and so on. Reason 1, remarriage, and it goes through all the reasons, so you can have a good read of that. That I'm not affiliated in any way with these lawyers. I'm getting no payment at all for this. And this is simply a site that I found when I was doing some research. But if you've got any questions, it's probably not wise to be asking me because, as I say, I don't know much about this. I'm just giving you the information that I've found. But you can talk to these lawyers directly by selecting a topic here, which you'd select recognition of foreign divorce. And you can send your message to them with a return email address, or you can contact them directly by the phone number here, or you can use Viber and WhatsApp to contact them as well. There's an email address there as well. It gives you their address and a map of where they are there in Makati. So guys, that's just a little update that I thought was quite important, especially for Filipinos who are married to foreigners and vice versa, I guess. So as I say, the link is in the description below for you guys wanting to have a more in-depth look at this. So I hope you found this piece of information rather interesting, as I have. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, then be sure to subscribe to get more videos. And I'll see you in the next video.